Hi comrades, viewers Kayveeyes. Today I am introducing another eminent tutor, Srimati Zulaika Firdose. She is working in the divisional office in Chengalpattu Division, Tamil Nadu Circle. And also for the last 3 years, she is giving the presentation to our Tamil Nadu comrades in a very effective manner. And because of her presentation, many were benefited. Today also, she is presenting a volume 7. So for the PS portion, the portion which has to be covered for the postal assistant examination, she is going to present. I am welcoming Zulaika ma'am. Madam, please come and present, madam.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to see about Postal Volume 7. What does this Postal Volume 7 deal about? It is completely about RMS, that is Railway Mail Services. So this volume has several rules. The entire volume is given for PA portion. If you want to understand the terms used in this Volume 7, you need to have some basic knowledge regarding RMS. If you are in postal wing, it will be difficult for you to dive into the volume as such without knowing the basic terms. So for easy understanding, just I'm giving you a small tabulation so that whenever you are encountering the terms in this volume, you have to recall this table. If you are in postal, if you are in RMS, you will definitely not be having any issues. In postal, if you call them as MTS, the cadre is mail peon. In this volume, whenever they are referring mail peon, it means MTS. Postman is referred as mail guard. Postal assistant, either they will be termed as sorting assistant or mail agent depending upon their office of working. Inspector post, it's inspector RMS. Just we are substituting the word post with RMS. Assistant superintendent of post offices, assistant superintendent of RMS. If it is ASP, it will be ASRM. Same way, if it is SP, it will be SRM. So just keep in mind the entire terms that is given for RMS. These terms will be repeatedly used in this volume. So again, there will be several officers referred in this volume. You need to know whenever they are referring to some. Now we saw about the official cadres. Now we are going to see about the place of working. What does the term mean? Who is the supervisor of those officers? First is record office or head record office. What do you mean by record office or head record office is they will not be dealing with the actual sorting. They will be dealing only with the papers associated with the they will be associated with the paperwork. So one who is in charge of a record office is called as record officer or head record officer. Now the place where the actual sorting takes place, that is called as usually and always sorting mail officer. So office supervisor is HSA, head sorting assistant. Now section, what do you mean by section? If you say sorting mail office, it is a stationary office. When you say the term section, you have to automatically remember that section refers to a moving office. A sorting will be done in the section which is moving actually. Head of a section is called as mail agent or mail guard. So remember these terms. Whenever we are saying the supervisor has to do something, then remember about which office they are talking, whether it's sorting mail office or section. Based upon that, some of the questions you will be able to answer easily. So now we are going to see the actual rules in the volume. The first and foremost rule, and which is repeatedly asked in all kinds of papers, is how many departments are there in sorting mail office? What do you mean by departments? Like sections. How many are there? First is mails department, which is the utmost important thing. As we saw, mail department is the if it is utmost whenever we are talking about important stuff, it will be handled by the supervisor or in charge of the office. So the in charge of a sorting mail office is head sorting assistant. He will be in charge of the mail department. The second is sorting department. Automatically it will be supervised by sorting assistant. Registration department, registrating sorting assistant. Parcel department, parcel sorting assistant. Now, these four departments will be repeatedly asked in multiple choices. They will leave out one of the department or give or introduce new department to confuse you. So you have to keep in mind these four departments. Now, we saw that sorting department is headed by sorting assistant. Mail department is headed by head sorting assistant. Now, we saw that every department has different sorting assistants supervising it or working in it. In case there is a shortage of staff, there are less number of sorting assistants, then just like in every other cadre, work will be distributed with the available sorting assistant. Now, we saw the head of the mail department is HSA. In case the HSA is selection grade, then what will happen is the selection grade HSA will be the overall in charge and separately mail department work will be given or assigned to the senior most sorting assistant. The next one is we already know that the work of sorting is discontinued in trains. Earlier days, they used to perform the sorting work in trains. Nowadays, they are not doing it. Now, if you see in sections, we saw that sections are moving offices, whether it may be a van or it may be a compartment in a train. So, if it is a van or if it is a train section compartment, sometimes LBs, that is letter boxes, will be attached to it. So, if you are posting letters in the letter boxes attached to a section or even to the mail offices, then you have to pay late fee to it. Definitely, at any time you are posting it, then late fee should be posted. These late fee articles, what will happen is they will be automatically dispatched by due course to the next destination. If you are not paying the late fee, it will be retained and it will be sent to the next batch only. When will they clear the letter boxes? Like when the section leaves the station. At that time only letter boxes will be cleared and the letters will be sorted. Now I told that if the late fee is not paid, it will not be those letters that are not carrying the late fee will not be dispatched on the same day. Not like a same day. The very next dispatch, whatever it is coming, they will not dispatch those letters. Now if you see, whenever a letter box is cleared, those letters needs to be sorted out. If they are not sorted out, then they need to provide an explanation why the letter is not being sorted, why it has not been forwarded. So, in order to indicate that the late fee has not been paid, they will affix a stamp on it, which is detained late fee not paid. It is being detained because late fee is not paid. How long will it be detained? They will leave the next dispatch. The other dispatch that comes off, and the dispatch, these letters will be included. Late fee will be 2 rupees and 3 rupees for unregistered and registered articles. So will the RMS people get the articles by hand? If they have given letter boxes, they will definitely not get any article by hand. So when told that if they have to pay a late fee irrespective of the time of posting, whenever they are posted in the letterbox attached to the RMS or mail offices or sections. So in this case, then the normal customer, whoever is posting the letters, need to be aware how much late fee needs to be paid. So and a notice regarding this should be displayed near all the letter boxes so that customer pays the correct late fee. The next one is regarding how a beat of a section is marked. To understand beat of a section, it is explained in volume 5. I will just give a small gist, which is nothing but section is a moving office. So each section will be having a particular route through which it will move from and to from the station. So the route that is covered by a section that is called as a beat. So each beat, how it they will refer? If it is post office, we call as beat 1, beat 2. Here the section needs to also include the train number and the sections that it is like from station to next station. Those section needs to be mentioned. Now if you see, only the post offices can deliver the articles, redirect articles. All the powers are vested only with post offices. What about RMS? Can they redirect an article. If a sender or addressee says that it's an emergency, we need to get an article, can RMS perform delivery? They should never redirect, intercept, or deliver any kind of article. But they can do that if DG, Post Director General of Post Offices, or Chief PMG has given specific orders to redirect the article or deliver the article. Unless and until you get the orders of DG and CPMG, RMS officials can never redirect or deliver the articles. But these conditions are not being applied. These conditions will not apply to camp articles. What are camp articles? Camp articles are articles that are destined for higher officers, high rank officers. For them, separate chart will be already given to them what to do with those articles. So, for those kind of articles, these conditions will not be applicable. So, just remember to redirect, intercept, or deliver any article. RMS officials need the orders of GPMG or DG Post. Next is the same with postal officers also. Nobody from no outsider should be allowed to enter inside the office or section. So whenever if it is become aware that somebody who is not connected, even if the person who sent the article has come, you should not permit him to enter into the station or into the mail office or section. And you should not, like, as a proof, you should not show the work paper and say that this has been done on your side. So all these are prohibited. So if any official order or any information is made to public, and if sufficient proof is there, as per this volume, the first rule itself, it says that the official can be dismissed. It can it can give you the severest of punishment that is available for any central government official. So what to do if for investigation matters, if somebody is asking for the records at that time, what to do with that? Instead of outrightly denying it, you can take up with the circle office for approval. Now, if you see, movement of a mail is very important. What will happen if there is an interception? Like there is some disturbance in the mail movement. It can be for any reason. It can be due to rain, flood, or any kind of natural calamities, or any way like agitation, anything. If a mail movement is interrupted, then what will happen? Who should report it? Where it should be reported? It should be immediately reported to the record office, inspector post, superintendent, that is, every supervisor available should be intimated immediately. If the section supervisor, mail agent will be the section supervisor, mail agent should immediately intimate to everybody. But first and foremost, he should intimate to the sorting mail office HSA. So he will take up with his supervisors. So if it is below 6 hours, that like for a temporary disruption, then the maximum up to record office itself they will deal it. If it is beyond 6 hours, then definitely it should reach the divisional head. That is superintendent, it should reach. Next, we are going to see about train accommodation. We know that in compartments, our mailboxes are being transported. In case everybody knows, the people who are working in section or the mail officers will be aware how many bags are being dealt every day. Suppose on some occasions they are getting a lot of bags and the compartment that they usually use is not sufficient. At that time, immediately you have to contact the railway authorities and ask them for extra accommodation. Then this extra accommodation should be done through a certain procedure. Like request form should be sent in 4 copies to station master, destination station, like wherever it originates, where it will reach, the section where it ends, then to the record officer, to the superintendent, to everybody it needs to be sent. Then accordingly they will be allotting you extra accommodation. How many times how these records are being raised, superintendent will be having a record. This record should be sent to Chief PMG every 10th of every on 10th of every month. So we saw that during disruption of mail services, we are going to report to every supervisor. That is what is being also dealt here. In case of misconnection, then automatically you have to report it to the superintendent. What about air services? If air services are getting interrupted, there is a misconnection, then immediately you have to report it to Chief PMG. Whoever is dealing at the airport, any kind of misconnection should be immediately brought to the notice of Chief PMG. And as per this volume, we are saying that by first post, like telegram or fax, they have to intimate it. It will be intimated by the record officer itself. And we saw that this misconnection needs to be reported to the supervisors. What about the post offices that are getting connected through the sections? They will be waiting for the mails. So automatically intimation needs to be sent to the post offices that close those bags, and the one whoever is open and is waiting for the receipt of bags, they should also be intimated. Now, this is another important question. Orders that are being issued by Chief PMG. Note that every order given for RMS will be from Chief PMG because RMS will be directly under the control of Chief PMG. So all the instruction will be issued from Chief PMG only. So whatever instructions you are getting in a particular financial year, you have to start from April to March, serialize it, and you have to preserve it. For it should be followed for all supervisor officers and record officers also. What about the preservation period? Preservation period is 3 years. Next is a question that usually people get confused. Now we saw that sorting assistant is working in all the departments in RMS. So they should memorize the sorting list. What should the question will be? Sorting assistant should commit dash to memory. It is sorting list. What is sorting list? It will be containing the details of bags through when it will be received, when it will be dispatched. So the sorting is the stations in the number of places for whom the articles are getting sorted. Everything will be there in that. So memory, they should memorize it. And they should be able to write down from memory due mails received, delivered, whatever mails they are receiving for sorting. After sorting, they will be dispatching the bags. Whatever it is, everything they should be able to memorize. Memorize means how many bags they will be receiving in the morning, due bags, how many it has to be dispatched. So that needs to be committed to memory. What about the post offices? They need not memorize it, but they should be well aware. That is, as they sort, they should become conversant with the name of all post offices there. And pin code also, as they sort, they have to practice themselves such that they will be able to repeat it. In case the supervisor, that is SRM or IRM, or the record officer himself is feeling that the performance of sorting assistant is not up to the mark, then he has the full power to direct him to practice sorting even during their rest time. Next, we are going to talk about metal tokens. What is metal token? Just remember, or you can say that metal token is like ID card. Now, RMS officials are going to enter into the station, into the sections compartment. They will be roaming in the stations for dispatching or receiving the mails. So they need to carry a kind of ID card. Metal token is the ID card given for this RMS officials. Except for supervising officers. Why? Because supervising officers are not going to be in the stations or sections. So supervising officers, record officers, and all, they will not be having the record officers means head record officer who will not be going attending the station. They will not be having the metal tokens. What about metal tokens? How are they received? Who supplies it? Postal stores. PSD. They will supply it to the head record office. They will maintain all the serial numbers. Each metal token will be given a serial number. And they in their stock they will write how many serial numbers are there, to whom it is being sent. Every record will be maintained by the record office. These record officers will be supplying it to the officials in turn. So whenever railway guards or the whoever ticket examiners are asking for it, they have to show it. So for ID cards, just like ID card, we saw that importance of metal tokens. So it means you are authorized, if you are holding a metal token, it means you are authorized to deal with the postal bags. So there is a heavy responsibility to safeguard your metal tokens. So they are personally responsible. As per this volume, earlier salary used to be dispersed through rolls manually during those periods. Only when they show the metal tokens, they will be dispersed there and the salary will be dispersed to them. What about when they go on leave? Can they have the metal token with them? Like if it is an ID card, we hold it with us whenever we are on leave also, right? But that is not the case with metal tokens. If an official who has a metal token is going to proceed on leave, then he has to hand over the metal token to the record officer. So whose responsibility is it? If the official forgets, it is the responsibility of the record officer. He needs to have a record and he needs to monitor the officials who are proceeding on leave, retirement, or if he's just quitting the service, he has to maintain all the records. If it is lost, if somebody is saying that it is lost, then the record officer will submit a report to the superintendent and he will say what happened, how, who is the official responsible. Everything will be explained to him, to the superintendent, and the fee for losing a metal token is 1 rupee. And it will be new one will be supplied after recovery and reporting it to the superintendent. Now, in case of post offices, some of the mail carriers will also be attending RM, like regularly they will be attending their RMS sections to receive the bags, and their work is only to carry the mail bags. So in those cases, also metal tokens will be given to them. For them also the stock will be coming from the RMS record offices only. But who will monitor it? Postmaster will monitor it. Why? Because he will be having the record whenever these mail carriers are going on leave and etc. So the work of monitoring is resting with the postmaster. Next is relaxation of work on Sundays and holidays. So what about Sundays and holidays? Do the mail officers get closed? Are they closing? Do they don't perform any work? Only record officers they are getting entirely closed. So as we know already, our post offices are not going to function on Sundays and postal holidays. So automatically there will be no dispatch. That is, they will not be receiving any mails on those days. What about mail offices? Will they perform any other thing? In mail offices, postage stamps and stationery will be sold on those days. Next is Memorandum of Distribution of Work. What is Memorandum of Distribution of Work? Like if there are many sorting assistant, who has to perform what duty? That needs to be set right? So that and what is the work hour? From when will his duty start? When will it end? When should the dispatch? Who should be responsible for dispatch, receipt? Everything will be explained in Memorandum of Distribution. So now, Memorandum of Distribution, we saw that there are three kinds of offices, which is record office, sorting mail office, and section. Let's see about record office first. In record office, automatically whenever the work during the working hours, record officer should be present. And what will be explained in the Memorandum of Distribution? Like if it is prescribed that the record officer needs to be on the platform, like the railway platform, to dispatch or to monitor the work, that will be recorded in the Memorandum of Distribution of Work. And what about the sorting mail office? Sorting mail office, it will be more more in detail because it is having several sections, right? Registration parcel, everything is there. So each work will be explained in detail and who has to do whatever work. Like if there is a combination of work also, it will be explained in the memorandum of distribution of work. What about section? Like section means in section, particularly they are going to deal about the receipt and dispatch of bags. In that, the extra thing that will be mentioned is how are the bags going to be arranged in the van. Then what about KHTVs? I will tell about KHTVs later. All these will be explained in section. In sections MDW, that is Memorandum of Distribution of Work. Who will prepare this MDW? If it is a record office, it will be prepared by record officer. For sorting mail office, though it is not prepared by HSA, it is prepared by IRM. Both these Memorandum of Distribution of Work will be sent to superintendent only automatically. But where is it? Who all need a copy of this MDW? Definitely the record office will be having a copy of this MDW, whether it's mail office or section, all the copies will be preserved through at the record office. If it is single-handed, if it is a small section, if there is only one sorting assistant, automatically everything will be dealt by him. So there will not be any MDW in those cases. However, if SRM feels that work can be distributed with whoever is available, and then SRM may issue MDW even to single-handed offices also. So up to today, we have seen 16 rules. In the next session, we will continue with the 17th rule.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much. From rule number 1 to 16, we have thoroughly studied now. Rest of the portion will be covered in the next session. With this, we are concluding this class. Let us meet in the next class. Thank you very much, comrade. Meet again.